Here comes
Kazunoko really trying to impose his will again. And he's been able to do it through large stretches of this match. But look at that. Now you're a mix-up away from losing. Look at the stun.
Oh, one more hit. Oh, he went for the overhead, but no. Kazunoko should be safe from stun, but now he's just in danger of death.
A chance for him.
See, LPN knows that one. He was ready for that.
Really cancel it. Maybe that was just in case. I don't know. Cammy now with a chance.
Oh, that's not going to do it. LPN gets the throw, and he's sending Kazunoko in the loser's bracket.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Born Free here, and I am here with none other than Circa, LPN. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. We're at Brooklyn Beatdown in New York. How's it? Are you enjoying it here in New York?
Definitely. It's my first time over here in New York, and I've been checking out everything. Definitely the tournament is spectacular. I'm looking forward to see who makes it to the grand finals.
Yeah, that's true. They split it up actually this year, so it's just going to be the grand finals tomorrow. I guess the tactic is to throw it in with the big Counter-Strike crowd.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. Hopefully. I'm hoping for that. I mean, they're dedicating like a 2-hour time slot just for grand finals. So hopefully they'll be able to make some magic.
I hope so too. It's going to be interesting. So let me see now. I want to talk more broadly about Street Fighter the game, and obviously the CPT as well. First off, let's just jump into it. What are your impressions of Urien?
I think Urien is pretty awesome. Definitely a badass. He has a lot of tools that a lot of characters have individually, but he has all of it. It's kind of like a Seth in the way where he has multiple move sets that other characters have. So I feel like that makes him really strong.
I mean, you're very good at, I would say you're very good at assessing new characters and jumping onto new characters, right? You adapt very quickly, you use a lot of different characters. So I guess one of my questions to you, first impressions, what do you feel like his strengths and weaknesses?
Urien's strength is definitely his mobility, versatility. Damage output isn't the highest, but with the right amount of resources, he's a huge impact. He pretty much has the same potential Laura has, but even better, I would say. I would say he's still pretty balanced. Even though with the Aegis reflectors and all that stuff, definitely still very well balanced. The only weakness is actually very transparent, that he has, 4 framers only? And of course he has the EX headbutt, but that's really, really punishable. And once you knock him down, he kind of gets pressured. So he kind of loses the pressure like that.
Okay, note to self, because people have been hitting me with that EX headbutt. All right, so in terms of the DLC characters in totality, now Alex, Guile, Jury, Ibuki, how do you feel about the DLC characters?
I feel like every time a DLC character comes out now, it gets better and better. And I believe Urien's probably the best product of it. Hopefully in Season 2, they would, design their templates off of Urien and how well balanced he is. As of right now, the only ones that are really, I would say, competitive, it's going to be Urien, eventually Jury, and I still think Guile and Alex. Balrog and Ibuki are kind of iffy. They have really transparent weaknesses.
I mean, those two characters, what would you give them, each of them, to make them be able to to be better characters?
For Balrog, definitely, please give him an invincible wake up headbutt. You can make it like negative to 1,000,000 if you want, but as long as it does the job, definitely it will make him a lot more competitive. Because right now he could just get mauled. And for Ibuki, I believe she only has an invincible DP on the light kick version. The EX one, I think you can stuff it. And she has extremely low health. And in this game, you could maximize damage easily with crush counters, so she dies way too fast. Maybe buff up her health a little bit. And overall, for the DLC characters, any character that doesn't have 3 framers, please give them 3 framers. It won't overpower them, it will just make them on par with certain characters.
I don't know, dude. I've seen you, Alex. If you had a 3-framer, I'd be a bit concerned about.
It's a huge change in the game. Like, for me to play Alex, then switch to like Rashid, who has a 3-frame light kick, makes it so much easier. Like, I'm competitive. I'm real when I get knocked down. Even though I have a DP, which I pick a bait out, it's cool and all. But Alex, no invincible wake up and 4-framer. So it's really tough. I have to be on my toes and not get knocked down.
All right, so talking of characters, you're a multi-character expert. You're one of the few that's very good with a lot of characters, right? particularly Birdie and Alex, I guess. Who else is on your roster right now at tournament level?
I'm still on project with my Rashid. Definitely want to make him tournament competitive. I think he's actually a really strong character. Not top tier, but he's very unique. He takes advantage of a lot of the game's mechanics. So I think that's really important. Definitely been working more on my Laura. I've only played her in probably like 2 tournaments. So she needs to really accelerate the tournament experience. And of course, I can play Nash too. But I only play Nash in like 2 matchups.
Is Nash boring to you, or
Initially, I thought...
that look on your face says that you don't even like playing him?
I don't like playing him, but I need him to
Okay.
win certain matchups. Like, I can't play him all matchups because I do get really bored. And like the way I win, I feel kind of disgusted. Because I just backdash, forward dash, backdash,
Yeah.
medium side, right? I'm like, why did I hit? I'm like, oh, well, Nash is hella good. And 8-frame lag, blah, 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 all the excuses in the world, right? But I can't be consistent with him. If I'm bored of a character, I'll just lose. That's why I only play him in limited amount of matchups.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's the what a lot of people, all the interviews I've had with people in regards to why they pick characters and so on. It's always like they have some interest. They think the character is cool, and that gives them the passion, the positivity to carry on and find a way to play that character.
Yeah, like I definitely commend all the Mika players, all the Nash players, like Infiltration, Knuckle Dude, they all play those characters, and they have a blast with them. So I mean, like, congratulations to them, but I can't click with those characters.
Yeah.
If I can't click with it, I'm not gonna be with them in the long run, and I probably most likely won't win.
Do you feel like the characters that you have right now can compete with anybody?
I feel like my character can compete through pools, the majority of pools, but when it gets to like top 16, top 8, or like really strong players, I really either have to change the way the character is played outside of my own liking, or I would have to switch to a more competitive character, unfortunately. I mean, unless all my characters that I play have 3 frames, invincible wake-ups, good V reversals, go down the checklist, I won't be able to beat those certain players or characters yet. If I can, it's gonna require a lot of work. And I mean, it's a 2 out of 3 set, you don't have that much time. So it's better just to switch off to a stronger character momentarily.
Okay. So in regards to the Capcom Pro Tour, what's your current plan?
My current plan, just like everyone else, continue trying to win, and I guess
I mean, what do you have to do?
the best thing to do is to win the next premier event, which is going to be SCR in October, starting on the 14th. If not, I would definitely have to bank on qualifying through the North America Regional Finals, the Battlegrounds. That's going to be taking place in Seattle, I believe, the first week of November.
And you're qualified for that already?
I didn't qualify for the regional finals, but there is a last spot qualifier tournament the day before. That one's
Okay.
going to be open for a 512-man bracket. If I win through that, I'll qualify for the 16-man regional finals. If I win through that, then I qualify for CPT, guaranteed. That's more of a last resort thing for me.
If you get through all that, then I think you'll win CPT. To
I
be
mean,
perfectly
I
honest.
feel like I would deserve to win CPT if I went through all that, because it's hellacious.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and it is a proving ground, like you're going through all these qualifiers. It's almost similar to like the Red Bull Kumate, that like the last minute one. Yeah, it's like that, but I'm looking forward to the competition and everything, so.
Awesome. So let me ask you about the recent patch and the change in the 1.5 frames. Now, do you feel that?
Initially, I thought it was kind of far-fetched. I was like, how could they just change the frames in the game, right? Then I started playing Urien more. I was like, wow, everything's really on point. Like, I could react, I could defend, and then I think about it again, I'm like, maybe it's not just Urien. Maybe it's really, the change in the frames. Then I was like, let me go to the main menu real quick. That's where it really clicked for me. Before, with my current stick, the Mad Catz TE Plus S, and the main menu is a little laggy.
Somebody else told me that. That's so bizarre. Yeah.
It's a little laggy. But with the new current patch, I was like, whoa, this is like on point really quick. Like left, right, down. I was like, wait, no way. So I would play more online, offline. And slowly, gradually, I would notice it. Notice it. But a lot of people have been telling me it might be a placebo effect.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, if people
Maybe.
start talking about it, it's
Do you-
kind of like the 8-frame lag. Like,
I mean, have you noticed it change your game at all?
yeah, definitely. My reaction time matches to, I guess the gameplay matches my reaction time.
Okay, so maybe it's not placebo effect because Taquito said the same thing. Unless you're all suffering from placebo effect.
I mean, unless Capcom really lied about changing the lag. Congratulations, you know, they really did a good job. They fooled everyone without even doing anything. So I mean,
I mean, I guess the question really is: did you find yourself reacting to situations where you felt like, hey, I haven't reacted to that before?
Yeah, definitely on defense, primarily, and sometimes I reacted too fast. Like before, I thought I would be reacting on time and it would come out late, but now I would react on the same time, but it comes out too early sometimes.
Ah, okay.
So I'm like, whoa.
Well, something's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe it's placebo, maybe it's
A
real.
little bit of both, but whatever it is, it's working. So I'm happy about it. Maybe they could push a little bit more frames, make it 5 frames.
I think I think that's the thing. Push a little bit further. Push a little bit further on that. All right, so which players do you have any? I mean, I guess arch enemies, but like, do you have any rivals right now? Players that you have the biggest challenge with, or maybe it's characters.
I feel like there's more characters than the players. Like, everybody's really good in this game, so you can't take them lightly. But when it comes to certain matchups and like deficiencies in certain characters' defenses, that's where it becomes really tough. That's where the player contribution comes out the most. And when I say that, that means the player has to work extra hard just to make the character, you know, balance. So say, for instance, if I was playing Alex versus Chun-Li, like a really good player, then that's going to be a bad matchup, clean. Because on paper, it's bad, and mentally, it's bad already. But if I were to play against like a mediocre player, I can make that matchup balanced. And balance is good for Alex, because then that makes him competitive, and he can win. So I would say, if it comes down to a player, I would say anybody playing Chun-Li, primarily probably Ricky Ortiz, e.g. Ricky Ortiz. I mean, she's been my demon for the longest time, even in older iterations of Street Fighter. But besides that, I would say my challenge is really the game. The game versus me.
Okay. Gotcha. That's a very philosophical answer, actually, but it's fair. Now, in regards to the game itself, like, clearly, you know, it's progressing, maybe not as fast as some would like it, but like it's progressing, seems to be progressing in terms of like the characters and making the game more interesting. Obviously we talked about the lag as well. If you were, you know, working at Capcom and you had to patch it next year, or not even patch it, like maybe make, you know, some improvements, is there something that you would change?
Nothing specific, but in general, a lot of people are asking or requesting for buffs or nerfs, and they think buffs and nerfs are like, oh, give that character, you know, more damage here, less damage there. That can actually cripple the character's archetype in general. Specifically, a lot of people are aiming at like Chun-Li or Nash or Mika. Like, if they reduce like certain frames on Nash's moves or damage, it kind of ruins his style. So I would say, if you were to buff characters, buff the bad ones by giving them more opportunities. I think opportunities is what's really important in the game. Granted that every character could do a lot of damage. Best example I would say is like Zangief. He could do 200 plus damage per hit, right? SPD, whatever, cool. But if you run into a matchup like Nash, how many opportunities do you get to do that? You get 1 in 10. Why not increase opportunity and make it like 5 in 10?
Right.
Something like that, you know? So he's not like complete squash. That's literally like a 10-0 matchup. Like, you can only get lucky off of the player messing up, not the character. The character is flawless in that matchup. Put the CPU at maximum level, and they play everything accordingly, you will never win. That's how I see it.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, you're saying think more, there's a, you know, I hate to use the word metagame because that term gets thrown around a lot, but it's a little bit bigger than, you know, I'm going to increase some damage here or change a frame here or there. It's actually look at the style of a character in its entirety and ask yourself, is this too much? You know, that seems to be what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Smarter buffing and nerfing.
Giving people opportunities. That's what life is about. Opportunities, right?
There you go.
If you don't have it, you can't make it.
More philosophical answers. I like it. All right. So, are you playing any other games seriously at the moment?
Currently, nothing competitive. Just casually, but I do want to dive into Tekken 7, Fate of Retribution, and of course King of Fighters 14.
Okay.
Those are probably my next hit list.
Okay. And let me ask you, in Street Fighter, what's the biggest mistake you see players making? Street Fighter 5. This goes out to, like, we're not talking like the top players you see every day, but I'm sure you play online, and this is going out to players who, you know, potentially want to be a lot better. Like, well, what's one of the biggest mistakes, you know, that people make, and maybe advice that's misinterpreted? You know, often the, you know, advice is that you got to go in. You know, like, I know for sure that this game, if you don't have a really strong defense, you're screwed. Is there something you see, like a pattern, which in players, a weakness that
I think everybody is evenly weak in defense. There's only a few that really stand out, and that's probably because then they never have to defend. You know, they play such a strong neutral, you don't really get to see the actual defense. But I think it all comes down to decision making and meter management. A lot of people don't realize that they need meter as a way to survive, and of course a way to win. Say for instance, if I'm Birdie and I have the life lead, I'm fighting against Mika, I could kill her with an EX Dolphin Dive for 150 damage. She has 100 damage, but then that could risk something really heavy. She could just neutral jump, she could just kill me there. I have 50%. She could kill me easily. Or should I hang on to that bar and use it defensively for like EX Zonk, just in case I get pressured too hard, you know? So you have to make the right decision there. You have to weigh your options. You have to know beyond the matchup. You know, you have to know what happens in the next round if you were to spend this amount of meter here and now. Do you want to hurt them mentally, or do you want to just win that match physically right there? So I think meter management is extremely important in this game. It's very prominent in a lot of games that people don't pay attention to, like especially CVS 2. That's extremely important. You have to know how it works in and out, defensively and offensively. But if there's any advice I could give to them, is just pay attention. You know, everything around you. All the meters, all the bars, your opponent, habits. If you just can lock on to all of that, I would make that a complete player. Like Tokido.
Like Tokido. Yeah. All right. So that makes sense to me. All right. So to be honest, that is kind of it. Is there anything that you want to talk about, or you wish I'd asked you?
Shout out to my sponsor, Circa Esports, for bringing me out here. I've never been to New York before, so this is a grander experience. I'm in ESL 1. It's probably going to be the first of many, so hopefully they'll be pushing out more of these. And of course, shout out to my friends, training partners back at home, and of course my girlfriend for supporting me. You know, I love you guys. Keep on supporting me. I try to do my best, and you know, Alex boys.
All right, man. Thanks so much for the interview.
Yeah, no problem at all.
And peace out, guys.